Hey, Fred, you look nice. Fred blew out his hair. Look at that.
He's got a haircut.
I figured the best time to do it is before vacation.
He got a haircut, but his hair is all poofed up and blown out.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks like when my mom used to go to the beauty parlor, they used to, like, put all her hair on top of her head.
I still haven't gotten that down yet.
He had his hair whipped.
Giving me more...
Where'd you go, Fred? You look kind of tan or red.
Nevis?
Nevis.
Nevis. I don't know. The guy there said it was Nevis, and he works there, so I think he knew what he was talking about.
Fred, you look...
Fred, let me see you.
Fred looks different, man. I think he's disguising himself from the Mexican.
I'm trying to look like a Mexican.
He's smart.
You're smart, man.
Next thing I'm going to dye my hair black.
You look more Mexican than Linda Ronstadt.
I've seen songs from my father.
Ooh, what the hell? There's water all over here. Baby. Jackie, where'd you go? You look kind of red.
Orlando and New Orleans.
You know, you talk about guys on their vacations.
Yeah.
Out of control.
And so I walk in this morning, and you know Richard, who works in the back? Mm-hmm. He evidently... You don't have this, Fred?
No, I don't know about it, but he was wearing sandals.
Yeah, wait, let me tell you the story. So, we go away for a week. Everybody went away.
Mm-hmm. Everybody had the time off.
Yeah, everybody had time off, so... I don't know. I take some time off. The whole place empties out.
Empties out.
Yeah, I mean...
in fact, some people left before we did.
Let me tell you something. I tried to call somebody back in the office. I couldn't find anybody. Anyway, so Richard, who works in the back office and writes down everything I say.
Yes.
Because it's very important. We need that information written down.
Well, other people think it's very important.
Right. Well, we'll get to you in a minute. You're the one with the interesting story. I've got some interesting stuff, but not as good as you. So,
oh, my.
Yes. George Takei checking in.
Oh, my. Thank you, Mr. Stewart.
I was doing OJ the whole vacation.
Is that right?
I was like, look out. The whole time. Made no sense. My wife was like, obviously my wife doesn't listen to the show unless I have a girl on my lap. Because I said to her, look out.
And she had no clue.
She goes, what are you doing? Look out. I go, look out.
I would love to.
I would love to. That's the one I kept saying over and over again.
And this one's the other one.
It happens. I don't know about you guys, but I was like, every minute I would just go up to her, I go, I would love to. I would love to. And she would like look at me like, what are you doing? I go, Allison, I thought you listened to the show. She goes, well, I guess I don't. Hey, to celebrate the fact that we're back, it's 150 degrees in here for anybody who's in Nevis. So that the shock wouldn't be too great to their system.
So what's the story with Richard?
Oh, so Richard evidently went down to Puerto Rico with Stuttering John.
Oh, really?
And he's wearing these... he walks in this morning, it's freezing and raining out.
Yeah.
And he's wearing these, like, beachcomber sandals, like flip-flops. And he's, all dressed up with flip-flops. I go, dude, isn't it kind of cold out? I mean, to be wearing flip-flops? And he goes, no, man. I burnt my feet. They blew up. I can't even fit into my shoes.
Oh, man.
He evidently had... You ever do that?
Oh, yeah, where you put suntan lotion every place except the top of your feet. I actually did that.
The first time I went away with my wife to, I think it was Aruba, the sun is really sharp and focused. So, like, I was, like, all suntan lotioned up and everything.
Didn't think about your feet.
Like, you don't do your feet, and my feet were hanging out.
You usually have a little bit of sand on the top of your feet, and you figure, what the hell, the sun's not going to get through there.
Yeah, but you don't, like, your feet are just stupid. No one puts lotion on their feet.
Your feet are stupid. It was you that didn't put the lotion on your feet.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean. You don't think about your feet.
Until it's sun.
Yeah, but now, every time I go out, my feet are under blankets.
Your feet made you think about them.
Because I was in Arizona, and I had my feet covered in blankets, even with my shoes on.
You were in Arizona?
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it.
You wouldn't tell me where you were going.
Yeah, I don't want you to know. I'm afraid.
I asked you, and you said, I'll tell you when I get back.
Well, I was afraid you let it slip for Linda Ronstadt. She looks beautiful, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, there was a guy after the show when I was driving out of that Burbank studio complex.
Linda Ronstadt.
There was a guy standing there with old Linda Ronstadt albums.
Yeah.
And I said, does anybody know there was an impersonator being Linda Ronstadt
by the way,
the Tonight Show?
That's what I was going to tell you. That wasn't Linda Ronstadt. So don't be upset.
Linda Ronstadt.
That wasn't Linda Ronstadt.
Who is that crazy woman?
Twins.
Before lest anybody think they don't know what's going on, Robin was on the Tonight Show, got into a fight with Linda Ronstadt. I thought you were going to punch her.
Didn't get into. I'm a non-violent person.
No.
I thought maybe she would get violent.
Yeah.
But she was quite inarticulate. She had no idea what she was talking about.
No.
She gave the first lie that she listened, and then I busted that down. I felt like a prosecutor in the OJ case.
Well, wait a second. Well, don't jump ahead, because we're going to play it on the air. Gary brought in the tape. Yeah. Hey, Richard, come in and show everyone your feet. This is really... And Richard has purple hair because he dyed it purple, and he's got blue flip-flops. It clashes with his hair. He's got pink legs, red hair, and blue flip-flops, and a white face.
A fashion disaster.
Yeah, you bet. I got to take a break because we're pretty busy this morning, but we're going to go into what you did over vacation, even though I kind of read about it. And
you didn't see it in Arizona?
No, I didn't even. You know what? I'll get to it in a minute. Don't get me started.
All right.
Isn't it fun for the first hour or back? But after the first hour...
After that, it's like...
Yeah. The first hour is fun. The first hour is fun, and then we hate it. I hate it. I'll tell you my plans.
Oh, yeah? You got plans now?
Yeah. I bought a house down in Arizona. I'm leaving.
All right.
I'm going in September.
You bought a house while you were away.
That's right. I'm out. I'm out of here. I told you, in September, I'm gone.
All right.
That's it. It's over. Party's over.
Well, you know, to make my life easier.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't even begin to fight.
I won't have to fight with Linda Ronstadt anymore.
In all fairness to Linda Ronstadt, she was on a sugar high. She just finished a box of donuts backstage.
She was loopy.
What was funny when Linda Ronstadt said she was distracted during her song?
Yes.
Well, of course, everyone was. It sucked.
I thought about it. Don't let it get you, baby. Don't let it get to you.
No, what was funny was, she comes up, she goes, well, you know, I don't know if you noticed, but I was distracted during my song, and I'm going, well, yeah, we noticed. It didn't even look like you were paying attention.
It was that hair in your face.
Yeah. We got to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Dude. And now, a man wanted in Texas, Howard Stern.
Yeah, I gotta beat that rap. I'm actually wanted in Texas. Yeah, I couldn't go there. I was planning on going to El Paso for vacation.
Oh, you had to turn back?
Yeah, I had to turn back at the border. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Robin's got some good stories for us because she was out promoting her book and ended up on the Tonight Show.
I feel like I was on a goodwill tour.
Yeah, Robin was out doing the Tonight Show and stuff, you know, during the week, and big fat Linda Ronstadt started in with Robin and really made a... Let me make a few comments because I did see the show on tape. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to interview you about it. You will be my guest today.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I seem to be the guest of choice these days.
Yeah, well, you got a story, you become a guest. Turn off that music. All right, anyway... Let me make a few comments. First of all, Linda Ronstadt is a big fat cow hypocrite, as everyone has known for years.
Someone wrote hypocrite.
Hypocrite, thank you.
Say that.
And let me tell you why. Probably Robin doesn't know this, because had she known it, she would have used it against Linda Ronstadt.
Well, I wasn't expecting the attack, but I've thought of many things since then that I should have said.
Well, save those for your interview.
Okay.
When I interview you. Because... one of the things Robin wouldn't have known, because she was, there was an attempted Shanghai of Robin on the Tonight Show.
Is that right?
Well, yeah, because she tried to Shanghai you.
I thought you knew something.
No, I'm saying that she came down and blindsided you.
Oh, yes, absolutely. She's a real fair fighter.
Yeah, she's a big fatso, but she sat down there with her big fat ass that barely squeezed into the chair. Squeezed into a chair. Yeah. By the way, someone requested that I play Linda Ronstadt music with farting sound effects behind it, and I will do that. And the thing that, the reason that she disgusts me, that pig, is, well, there's two reasons. Number one, all of a sudden, Linda Ronstadt is now admitting to her Mexican-American heritage. For years, this woman was famous, never made mention of it.
Well, let me, because this is an area that I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
I thought about it after. I said, you know what? Years ago, I was quite offended by Linda Ronstadt. As far as I was concerned, her career was based on making bland covers of great soul songs.
Yeah, well...
And then she never said anything about being anything but Linda Ronstadt. Everybody assumed she was white, and that was it.
Yeah.
And when the moment her career went into the tank and she couldn't sell mainstream albums anymore, she started recording Latin music and became Mexican-American.
Well, the very foolish, fat, disgusting Linda Ronstadt. It was kind of cute when she used to sing, you know, the Rolling Stones songs, because she was kind of cute to look at for a guy. But now when you see that hippopotamus singing irrelevant songs, and she's so irrelevant, and she's so desperate to get her career going. I mean, when is the last time someone lined up for a Linda Ronstadt album that she sat down and said on national television, I hate what Howard Stern says. I hate the show, and I don't like what it is. And Robin said,
She said you were a hate monger.
Right. And then Robin turned to her, thank God, and said what was appropriate. You did very well, in my estimation. You said, do you listen to the program? And after much fumfering on Linda Ronstadt's part, she admitted she'd never heard the show.
Finally had to, yeah.
And this is like the priests who come out against, when the Pope or the Cardinal comes out against a movie you never saw. The balls on this fat pig cow-faced loser. But what you don't know, Robin, and you couldn't possibly know because Linda Ronstadt is so obscure, is that I'm going to tell you a story about Linda Ronstadt.
Oh, I love stories about Linda Ronstadt. I was thinking of doing a study of it.
And there's a gentleman on the phone who says he has a book that will back this up. Years ago, the liberal Linda Ronstadt, who's so worried about hate-mongering, played a place called, I don't know if you ever heard of it, Sun City. Oh, yeah. So you didn't know about Linda Ronstadt. We're going to know everything. We're going to know everything about Linda Ronstadt.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make her my mission.
And I have a guy on the phone who will read to us about Linda Ronstadt.
Now, this was, of course, not last week. This was years ago when there was heavy-duty apartheid in South Africa. While black people were being killed, while the rest of us were screaming about South Africa and the problems in South Africa where no man should be a slave, guess which fat pig loser played Sun City? For probably lots and lots of bucks. Hi, who is this?
Hi, Howard. This is Scott Pellegrino. I was on with you about 4 years ago. You interviewed me. I'm the guy who accosted Bill Clinton and tried to get him to call Bush a racist. Do you remember that?
No, and you're losing credibility fast.
About that.
Right. I have no idea what you're talking about, but...
I was on with you for about 10 minutes.
Tell me what book... I am not...
Well, first, Robin, I just got to tell you, I saw you the other night, and I thought you looked beautiful.
Well, thank you.
You look terrific, and you have the most beautiful eyes. I think.
Well, listen,
your credibility is growing.
This is no time for a pickup. Come on, let's get to Linda Ronstadt. What book are you reading from?
Okay, this is from you know Robert Christgau from the Village Voice. Is from his record guide to the 80s.
Okay.
He's main rock critic.
He is a brilliant critic of rock music.
He also writes for Playboy.
Exactly.
It has to be brilliant.
Yes. Anyone who writes for Playboy is brilliant. He doesn't take the pictures, does he? Those are good, too.
That's a real genius.
That's a genius. That must be real hard. But anyway, read to me from the book, because actually I wasn't aware of this either, and you can...
I just got to say...
Enlighten us all.
I just got to say real quick before this...
yes, we know. Robin's eyes are beautiful.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, but I got in touch with some of my lefty friends to track down the information on this, and when I told them that I was going to be, helping out Howard, they were all really upset. And Howard, to me, in the last 50 years, you're one of the 3 or 4 most brilliant comic people around.
Thank you.
I do have problems with your politics, but although Linda Ronstadt has no reason to attack you because
Linda Ronstadt, if what you were about to say is true, she should be hiding in a rat hole.
She should have been kissing my feet.
It's true about a lot of people, and it isn't just.
Well, listen, you know what? Linda Ronstadt's like so many phonies who.
Whenever it doesn't, quite frankly, all she was doing was trying to sell records. Her audience now is Mexican American.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, you want me to read you what's in the book?
Let me just say something.
Okay.
I'm going to play what happened between Linda and Robin on the air. But I'm going to tell you something. For Linda Ronstadt, a white American, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know where this Mexican American... She's as Mexican as I am.
I'm Mexican American.
You're damn right. You're more Mexican than she is. This whitey to sit there and tell Robin...
As a woman and as a black. American.
As a woman and a black, you should be doing blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, everybody always knows what, quite frankly.
Everybody knows what you should be doing.
I'm like that Butterfly McQueen in Gone with the Wind. I need Scarlett Ronstadt to tell me how to live my life.
Scarlett Ronstadt, I like that. Yeah, she's going to tell, you know what? I'd like Linda Ronstadt to wake up black tomorrow and try and live in black people's skin. See how easy it is. That punk ass, as Arsenio says.
That's very impressive, Howard.
That big, fat Linda Ronstadt, big pig bitch, phony. Let's talk about... Get her on my show. We'll talk about Sun City.
She would never come on this show.
Tell her to come on this show and debate me.
The point about people like her is they don't want to have a discussion about anything. They simply want to make some political hay. She wants to sell records.
Well, what did I always say?
Everybody has an agenda.
Here's a fat cow who sang Jackson Brown songs for
and Smokey
years.
Robinson songs and Rolling Stones songs.
When Jackson Brown allegedly smacked Daryl Hannah around, she didn't go on The Tonight Show and say she was offended. When Michael Jackson was up on charges about being with young boys, she didn't say she was offended. She's not offended by the O.J. Simpson trial and the fact that he killed 2 people, allegedly. She's not offended by Woody Allen dating Mia Farrow. Not a woman who would speak up against anything. When black people were being put down in South Africa, a woman who would not say a word.
I went over there and made money. And now this cow comes on TV and comments on a show she never heard because I'm offended that we live in a society
because she can't sell records.
Linda Ronstadt has to sing a duet. Aaron Neville has to sing a duet with Linda Ronstadt to get mainstream attention. Yeah. That's a problem.
You have a problem with that?
A really talented human being has to sit next to her and warble so that other people will hear them.
You got jet lag, Robin.
No, I'm telling you the truth. There's a lot of that going on. You need a white woman standing next to you to get anywhere in this country.
Oh, boy.
There's something
all right, listen.
about that, too.
You've taken this in a whole new area. All right, listen to me. Listen to this guy. I'm going to think about it. I'm open-minded. Did you see the sausage fingers trying to wrap around that mic stand when she was singing? The
mic was trying to get away.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be food.
That puffy witch. All right, dude, read to me from this book.
By the way, she's not alone.
I can't get this guy to read from the book.
Will you read this section?
If you read the book.
John, who was just at the Rainforest benefit, he played Sun City also.
All right, would you read the book to me?
Here it is. This is from Robert Christkow's Guide to the 80s. Linda Ronstadt, since May 1983, Ronstadt has been on the UN's Register of Entertainers who have supported apartheid by performing in South Africa. Specifically Sun City, a showcase for the homeland policy at the heart of Pretoria's economic strategy. To get off the register, she need only promise not to return until apartheid is ended, but she has steadfastly and self-righteously refused. So I stopped paying this stiff-necked, middle-brow art singer much mind. From her skinny tie period to her Aaron Neville exploitation was no great sacrifice.
See that, Robin? You were right.
Absolutely.
He goes on insulting her. I think you should hold a big press conference and clobber her over the head with this. This is ridiculous. By the way, this is written in 1990. And,
like so many phonies. You know what's funny? Robin went out to do a book signing, and let me ask you something, Robin. Not that you are able to judge at a glance and to be totally accurate. What percentage? I've heard as high as 35 to 40% of the fans standing online. Robin had quite a crowd, thousands of people standing there to get her autograph. I understand 35 to 40% were Mexican-American.
That's right.
Is that correct?
Yes, and not one disgruntled one in the bunch. They just wanted their book signed and said they love the show.
Yeah, this is a political shakedown, and Linda Ronstadt is a big, phony, fat-ass hypocrite, just like everybody else.
But you should really use your power to get the press.
The power. Listen, you think I'm going to sit and take up a washed-up singer's...
Yeah, why give her a career? That's what she's looking for.
Listen to me.
By the way, she
came on dead last on that show, too. You know that?
Oh, yeah, well, but that made sense.
She was on after Iron J and Robin and that idiot from ER.
Well, don't call him an idiot. He was a great supporter. Absolutely.
Right,
Anthony Edwards was fantastic.
No, great
supporter. One other thing. Yeah. It's interesting also that on Paul Simon's South African Graceland album...
Linda Ronstadt was on because Paulie Short canceled. What do you think of that?
Speaking of short people named Paul, on Paul Simon's Graceland album... he had Linda Ronstadt sing on one of the songs, which really upset a lot of South African people. That on his South African album, he has this bigot sing on his song.
Listen. Robin and I have raised probably hundreds of thousands of dollars for the people of South Africa. We just don't go on the air and talk about it. Let me tell you something. We are deeply offended by Linda Ronstadt, and we demand that her record company fire her.
As human beings, we are offended by Linda Ronstadt. I love all these people who are only offended because they're Mexican-American or women. They're not offended by, things you do to other people, just their group. So I'm offended as a human being by Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, and we're good people. You know what we're doing today?
What's that?
We are asking our fans to come down here today and donate to the people of Oklahoma. What do you think of that, Robin? We are going to raise money because we're good people. We're not like Linda Ronstadt. That fat cow.
Self-serving
cow.
Howard, I think Linda Ronstadt is going out on tour. I think it would be interesting if people went to her concert and between songs asked her about South Africa.
Yeah, I think that any of our fans, we should all go to Linda Ronstadt concerts and scream out South Africa to her. That hypocrite, fat pig who
whenever
comes
you
on.
see her now, call her Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, she doesn't come on. She doesn't come on once. I've never heard. You know, I've seen Linda Ronstadt over the years interviewed and things. I've never once heard her speak out against anything.
Yes, she's never had one.
The only time these fat slob celebrities get any balls is when it comes to me, because they're so friggin' politically correct. They think that they can attack me. Let me tell you about Linda Ronstadt. She is a lying hypocrite.
And this is not the last thing we're going to find out about.
Yeah, we're going to find out more about her. And
I'm going to find out about her as a woman,
right,
as a singer, as a Mexican-American. I'm going to find out everything.
And we're going to find out about her racial attitudes, too, about other racial groups besides the blacks that she obviously doesn't support.
Yeah.
Howard, at the very least...
That stinking stink bitch.
Howard, at the very...
And I love these millionairesses, too, who are telling people who have no money or work for a living how they should live their lives.
Yeah.
Go back to the governor's mansion. Oh, Jerry Brown's not there anymore.
Right, and it's amazing, too, how she's going to tell black people and women how to live.
Yeah.
Howard?
Yeah. Sorry, we weren't all gifted with a voice.
And she doesn't even mind that she doesn't know anything about this show.
No, she got on and she said, well, I got to play it. Wait a second. When I come back, I'll play the actual...
She's full of opinions.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing, Howard?
Yeah.
I think at the
if you had just raised your hand up and started waving to the audience, they would have come up and lynched her.
Oh, absolutely. The audience was completely on my side. I had to hold them back.
The audience would have lynched her by the pubes. They would have hung her up by the pubes.
But I have always felt sorry for the stupid, and she falls into that category.
You know why Jerry Brown never married her? She'd eat all the food off his plate. He wanted something to eat. Man, Jerry Brown was a smart man, a visionary. He knew. He saw her porking out. Yep.
Howard, at the very least, I think that the press should demand that she return the money plus interest that she made off of Sun City and donate
I love that.
You can't get it. She ate it all.
I love that. Yeah, that was food money. She had a Jones. Hey, let me tell you something.
South Africans were starving. Linda was full.
I demand that Linda Ronstadt return every penny to the black South Africans.
Plus interest.
Plus interest since playing Sun City.
They certainly could use it.
Yeah, that has to be millions of dollars.
And she's so civic-minded.
Yeah.
That certainly she will do this without question.
Of course.
That Tonight Show audience would have hung her, I'm telling you, if you had just called them up.
Oh, she had to get out of there.
Yeah.
She couldn't stay. She was shocked at the reaction of the audience.
Yeah, they started booing her.
She had no clue what she was biting into.
She thought that they were going to cheer her.
Absolutely. She's been living up in her mansion wherever she is for so long.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how the world is turning.
Oh, her face went into shock when they started booing.
Oh, yeah, she couldn't understand what had happened.
Because she's not cute anymore. No one could stand looking at her.
How could you tell it went into shock with all that fat?
And Jay Leno's such a dink. He went... What was really odd when I was watching it, because we're going to play it for you in a minute. Jay, got so frightened. First of all, that's a taped show.
Is a weather vane.
I know.
Is what he is.
He got nervous for her.
But no, did you see, during my interview segment with Jay, I confronted him about how wishy-washy he is, and that he goes and checks with people before he tells jokes.
Yeah, and then he just did
And he denied that. And then he asked me the question, how do you respond to people who say, as a woman and a black, you should be doing? And I said, why should I do anything? He says, that's what I always say. Then Linda Ronstadt comes out and attacks me. He goes, that's right, Linda.
Yeah. And then when you spoke up, he goes, that's right.
That's right, Robin.
Yeah, right. And then he congratulated both of you on speaking your mind.
Has anyone noticed that the only time anything ever interesting happens on that show is when you or Robin are on?
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the saddest thing of all.
Yeah, he should keep us around all the time.
Oh, God. By the way, I have a funny Jackie Martling story if you want to hear it. Real quick.
Is it real quick? Because, I mean, there's a million of them.
I remember when I love Jackie, but I went to see him at NYU years ago, and there was this big drunk football player in the back who was heckling Jackie during the show, and so Jackie was getting really upset and was getting tough and said Jackie really looked like he wanted to fight with me. He said, why don't you come up here and say that? But the guy was so far in the back that Jackie couldn't see how big he was. So this huge drunken football player who I don't even think he wasn't looking for a fight. He didn't even know where he was. Right. He saddled up to the stage, gets up on stage with Jackie. Jackie looks at him and says, okay, now why don't you go down there?
Do you remember that, Jackie?
No, but sounds very possible.
Right.
I remember,
hey, why don't you come up on stage, you wise ass?
I remember what was
the big football baseball player because Jackie runs out of the place.
What was that?
Why would you invite Jackie? Why would you invite some drunk up onto the stage to fight?
I don't really remember. I'm sure.
Nut.
What was also fascinating was that Jackie's playing at NYU, and no one was really laughing. Jackie was very funny, but they were all like trying to act like they were too sophisticated. Why the hell did they go in the first place?
Oh, please! I'm not getting into the Jackie thing. That's a whole nother thing. All right, thank you.
Take care of that audience.
Yeah.
Okay, so clobber Linda. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
That guy's good.
Yeah.
Hey, and fax me that. I hung up on him.
Keep up. If you find any more information, send it to us.
Yeah, and fax me that article about Linda Ronstadt, because I'll be quoting that extensively. I got to take a break, then I'll play the Tonight Show thing, and then I want to ask you some questions about what went on during the commercials on the Tonight Show. And
Yes,
stuff like that.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Don't say a word.
Okay.
We'll be back right after this.
Listening to the Shaw of Broadcasting, Howard Stern. Listening to the Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
Some lady wants to yell at me for calling... You want to yell at me for calling Linda Ronstadt a witch because you're a witch?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh,
I mean, she's simpering simp, but she's not a witch.
Oh, you're a witch?
I'm a witch.
I know a lot of people who are not satisfied with the couple of standard religions we have in this country
yes.
and want to be thought of as something more, like they're a witch.
Thought of.
You're a witch?
How about are?
Okay, so how do you become a witch?
You like practice another religion.
Yeah, and what can you do that makes you a witch?
I worship other religion practices.
Oh, yeah? So can you do magic?
Well, if you want to call it that.
You cast spells?
Can you do me a favor? Can you click your heels and make Fred disappear?
No, I can't click my heels, darling.
I'm really
sorry.
sick of him.
I've been listening to you for 15 years, Howard, and I love you. But please don't defame witches by calling
you know what?
them
I am
Ronstadt.
so sorry. I'm afraid the witches will boycott me.
You know, finally you even got the witches on you.
Yeah.
On your case.
Well, listen, lady, I think you're a cuckoo bird, and I think Linda Ronstadt's a cuckoo bird.
And that's why he called her a witch.
Yeah.
And that's why you have Sharon Hayes as being one of your favorite people.
You're a witch, and Linda Ronstadt's a witch.
But you're a good witch.
Yeah.
Linda.
You're a friggin' cuckoo witch.
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, you're the good witch. Are you like Samantha? Can you wiggle your nose?
No, darling.
Hey, do me a favor. Wiggle your nose and make me signal. And, I don't have to give up half my money. That's the kind of witch I need. Kiss me around, okay, honey? That's a witch's spell. What are you, nuts? All right, anyway, witch. Kook. Right. I hate this show.
Everywhere. They're everywhere.
I got to go home. What a dick. All right, where was I? Okay. All right, now I'm gonna interview you.
Yes.
You're my guest. Robin Quivers is my guest.
Welcome me.
The author of the new book, Quivers Alive. And let me start by playing this appearance of you on The Tonight Show.
Okay.
Okay, this is the portion where Linda Ronstadt, this big fat sow.
She finishes messing up a Tom Petty song.
Yeah, she does a Tom Petty song exactly the way he does it. And it used to be kind of cute when she'd do cover versions of songs because she was so, I remember, what was the album, Fred, where she's on the cover and her nipples can be seen through her shirt?
Down the Wind.
Hasten Down the Wind.
Gorgeous.
That's the one.
Great cover.
She was a knockout. And now she is such a mess.
She looks like her mother.
Yeah. And I still contend, Robin, and I don't know if you believe this, I still contend that might not have been Linda Ronstadt. I tuned it in, I go, who's
Jay
that?
was duped.
Yeah. So, anyway, this filthy hypocrite finishes her song, and now is going to sit down with Jay Leno while my beautiful Robin is sitting there, and she is going to comment on Robin's segment.
She can't be interviewed now.
And she's going to comment on me, quite frankly.
Yeah, they won't confront you. I said, why bother me?
Yeah.
She didn't even know who I was until Jay and I started talking,
right.
I'm sure. Because she's sitting back there in the green room or wherever she was.
Right.
Probably minding her own business, had no idea who was on the show. She was only concerned about her little song.
Well, that's the same way when she went to South Africa. She wasn't concerned about anybody's feelings.
Right. She doesn't think about other people.
Right.
So then when she saw this happen, she's like, oh, my God, what a boon for me. I'm on this show with somebody who's on the Howard Stern Show. I can speak to my Mexican-American audience and get them all to buy my album.
Yeah, so instead she sat down. She admitted to Robin within 2 seconds that she'd never heard the show. She was commenting on something she never heard.
I wouldn't let it go by. She's claimed, yes, I do listen. I go, no, you don't.
Right, and then the audience starts booing her, which is even better. Like, she thought she was going to get, like, applause and stuff.
She had, like, one or two. It must have been the people who work for her in the audience.
That friggin' cow who takes money off the skin of black people. She's worried about minorities. She's a minority like Fred's a minority.
Well, he is.
In her defense, I'll say one thing. Someone told me she got really irritated because there was no roast beef in the green room. And it really had nothing to do with what you were saying. Because she was supposed to be fed.
That's better.
Yeah, there was no meal. There was no meal plan.
She almost couldn't get through that song because she was hungry.
Yeah, she had the nerve to order a tab. Okay. All right, here we go. Ooh, wait a second. I forgot how to work the equipment on my vacation. Okay, here we go now. And then I want to interview you about certain portions of this and some other things about what happened to you during your vacation.
Very nice. Oh, you're always terrific. I mean, look.
Now, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I already have a question.
Okay.
I notice now she sits down, Jay goes, very nice. Usually the guest will shake your hand and the other guest's hand.
Right.
She buzzed right by you and had a puss on her face.
That's right. Yeah, she walked off this stage that she was singing on, and Anthony Edwards actually was about to put his hand out.
Yeah.
And she ignored him, and she didn't look at me. She just kept her eyes straight forward. It almost seemed that she didn't want to. Jay had to ask her twice to come over and sit down.
If only she had the balls to say to the South African government, I won't play Sun City.
Or, I'm so sorry, and here is reparations for ever doing that. I now realize my mistake.
No. She refuses to say she's sorry even to this day. Listen carefully. When Linda sits down, you can hear the chair moaning. The chair actually makes a grunt.
A low groan.
Like, why can't I have Twiggy?
Very nice. Oh, you're always terrific. Emmylou Harris has done this too, right?
She is indeed.
Yeah. That fun?
It was fun, but I was kind of distracted when I was singing.
Listen to this comment. I got to say something. I was kind of distracted when I was singing. Boy, if that wasn't painfully obvious.
Why didn't she not do the show? She was so offended. Why? You know, I love these hypocrites because she knows she needs to sell that album.
Right.
So she doesn't care who else is on this program. She doesn't care that Jay Leno invited me as a guest.
Yeah.
If she's got such a problem with me, she should have a problem with Jay Leno and the way he sets up a show.
You know what's funny, too? There seemed to be like this. I was watching it, but I knew in advance what was going to happen. But there seemed to be sort of like lag because she goes, hey, I was kind of distracted. It looks like she's going into a story.
Yeah.
And like I see you're sitting there and you're going, okay, look, I had a segment. I had two, whatever it was. They went well.
I'm done.
I'm done. And I'm just going to breeze by, listen to Linda Ronstadt talk. Got about 3 seconds left. You only had 3 seconds.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like, it was like almost like in those cartoons when they go, bing. Because you didn't even know you were in a war.
No, all of a sudden I hear this woman saying, I took offense. And I say, I know it's not Anthony Edwards that got her upset.
He was putting me to sleep. Hey, what's with Jay, by the way? How many bits is he going to do until he gets to the guest? The first guest didn't get on until midnight.
I know. He's got all the kinds of things. The first half hour is the Jay Leno show.
Iron Jay.
And the Dancing Edos.
The Dancing Edos. His monologue was good, and then, like, let's get into the guest.
Yeah. Break it up a little bit.
Let me tell you something. If it was my show, when the two of you started going at it, what I would have done is let you keep going.
Right.
Go for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I would have in post, because that show's taped.
I would have re-edited that show.
I would have gotten rid of Iron Jay and that guy from ER, edited them out.
Have us just go at it.
Go at it.
Debate.
Yeah. I mean, you got something good, go for it.
Yeah, but not Jay.
Not Jay, not Iron Jay.
Stick to time.
Oh, yeah. Not Iron Jay.
That fun?
It was fun, but I was kind of distracted when I was singing. It's not my place to take issue with one of your guests, but...
So why are you doing it? You fat cow.
Fat cow.
Right. Why do you take issue with Sun City? Well, you want to be brave. Here, now listen to this woman take issue with something she's never heard. Listen to this cow. She's heard about Woody Allen. She's heard about Michael Jackson. She's heard. You want to comment on someone?
It's show business to take issue with.
I mean, Fatty Arbuckle before me. And the comments again, she never heard.
Right.
Like the Cardinal. He's against that Priest movie that came out. He never saw it.
I felt deeply upset by what you said, and I think that it's because Howard Stern is not really presenting himself as a character, as a lovable bigot.
By the way, I'm not. That is true. I am not presenting myself.
I didn't say you were a lovable bigot. I just said you were a guy who seems to have trouble with all the different groups in America, and you're a little bit intolerant.
Right. Yeah, Linda. Fat Linda. lest anyone think. I know you're not playing any character. I know I'm not. That balloon ass. There isn't a thing I say on this show that I don't personally believe, and that I listen.
But you don't say things that people accuse you of saying.
I know.
And when those things are said, it's usually in a character.
Right.
Because you're portraying something.
What do you mean?
I'm saying that when you do, now, looky here.
Yeah, right,
You know, you're being a character.
Right.
I'm not talking about the statements you make.
Right.
But the things they take out of context on this show and then call you a racist behind are usually the things said in character.
Yeah. What do you mean, what?
Oh,
That's exactly
shut up,
Jackie, you moron. Stupid ass. We're trying to win an argument here.
Got to explain the show to him, too.
Yeah. Jackie's every man. Every stupid man in the audience. All right, here we go. Let's continue now with Linda Ronstadt, now commenting. Listen to the audience. Lyncher.
Listen to the show, understand what we're doing, and if you're going to react to what you read in the press, then you're going to have this misconception about what we do.
I think
the audience, you can be misled.
I think you're shilling for him. I think he's taking advantage of you.
Fine, that's what you think, but I know what we do.
That's another thing. I like how Linda Ronstadt, you're shilling for me.
Yes.
She knows everything. She hasn't heard the show.
No one who is black or female or
shilling.
Chinese can ever have an opinion on their own or actually decide to do what they're doing. They are dumb and being taken advantage of.
She is a worthless human being.
She is a bigot, and that was a prejudiced statement.
Right. And I like how the whitey there is going to tell the black women what to do. Yeah,
she knows what I'm doing.
She knows,
I'm a poor, stupid black child.
Right. And you know what else is great? That this hypocrite, played Sun City.
This hypocrite who hid her background, apparently, for many years. I've never hidden who I am.
That's right, because you can't. Robin would, but you can't. All right, here we go.
I tried.
She tried for years. All right, here we go.
People phone me up.
Right.
And you don't listen, because obviously you have a problem with it, so you can't comment on it.
Yeah.
Well, she can comment. Listen to Jay.
Listen to Jay. She can comment.
Linda doesn't have a comeback. Jay helps her out.
No, but Jay missed the point. You just said to her, hey, fatso, I am telling you, you don't listen to this show, so how can you comment? How can you comment on something you don't listen to? I mean, if you listen, then you have a right to comment. Yeah. Jay doesn't get that.
No, but he's still helping her out.
Right.
She's sitting there going, blah, 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 and he then helps her out.
Because the audience, she expected the audience to burst into applause. And you know what? Here's the issue. When you go to a book signing and 35 to 40% of the people online are Mexican American, as when I went to California and signed my book, the same deal happened to me. There's nobody. The only people mad at us
are people who aren't listeners.
And they have a political agenda, and they're trying to squeeze something out of a corporation.
That's right. Or they're like Linda Ronstadt, who is trying to squeeze some money out of you for record
These characters have been going and meeting with the radio stations we're on and asking for the shakedown. You understand? The shakedown? Everyone's got a political agenda. Let me tell you something.
Wait a minute.
The same group.
Let me make a point, because there's an important issue here.
Yeah.
At one time in this country, when there were misunderstandings between groups, first the group would try to go to the organization and say, you know what, there's a misunderstanding here. We don't appreciate what's happening.
Yeah.
No one from the Hispanic or Mexican American community has called you once.
No, who cares?
But the point is,
they
had no desire to do anything about you. This is not an issue of trying to understand who you are or get you to understand them.
Right.
They want something.
Right. Oh, they want a shakedown.
Yeah.
But let me just say something. And they're not going to get a shakedown because they're just not going to get one. Here's the point. I would sooner leave the radio than deal with any of that crap. And as far as these guys go with their shakedowns and everything else, I don't pay attention. I don't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks. And I certainly don't give a rat's ass what Linda Ronstadt thinks of me when she doesn't even listen to the show. And Linda Ronstadt's out there trying to sell albums, and she's the biggest, fattest hypocrite on the planet.
That's all she was doing. She was thinking of her audience and how to get some money out of them. Otherwise, she would have just sang like the little songbird she is.
Yeah, and had she known she was going to get booed, she wouldn't have opened her fat trap.
That's right. She was so flabbergasted.
Yep.
And like I said, Jay comes in a
Jay only assisted her because he started to get nervous that she was getting booed.
That's her problem. She brought it up.
Right.
She brought this on herself.
But that's Jay's problem.
You can comment about things taken out of context and things you don't understand. You don't want to listen. You don't like that kind of radio. You don't have to listen. There are other stations. There's a whole dial.
Woman and as a Mexican-American, I feel he is very offensive.
A Mexican-American. So what about the blacks in South Africa? You didn't care about them?
She didn't care about them. As a woman, she told you who she cares about. Woman and Mexican-American. She cares about Linda Ronstadt.
And feeding that fat bitch face of hers. That
That's right.
cow-face loser.
She must be low on food money.
Yeah.
And she really needs it.
She needs more money. So she goes to Sun City. Piglet. Debate me! I want to debate, because you know why I can debate anybody?
No, I'm going on tour with her.
Oh, you know why I can debate anyone? Because I can point out what a hypocrite anyone is. Everyone has something in their past, except me. I'm not a hypocrite.
That's right. You've always said everything that you've done.
Yep. I'm the only one who's honest. Me and Robin, of course.
That's why I have no problem.
Right.
Hey, I like you coming on. I like you coming on. I both like you coming on and speaking your mind. Good for you.
Shut up, Jay.
Good for you.
Jay, you pussy. I like both of you coming on and speaking your mind. Jay, the pussy that he is.
I'm glad we see the show was over.
What?
I'm glad we see the show was over.
Yeah. Hey, so what happened? So now you go to commercial break.
Well, that was the truth, because I took over his show. I didn't even let him respond to her. She was talking to him. I was like, whoa.
No, okay. Now let me interview you here. What happened? Now you go to commercial break.
Yes.
And the cow is sitting there next to you.
Right.
Does she talk to you at all?
I tried to talk to her, but again, she's so stupid, so thick-headed.
Right.
She can't understand a word that's being said to her.
Yeah, well, she had her agenda, and that was it.
Absolutely. Because I said to her, look, Linda, I don't even, because she then said she was sorry to me. See, this is what kind of a
They do it off the air.
Cow she is.
Yeah, she apologized.
Turned to me, and she said, I'm sorry I had to do that. And I said to her, I don't care what you did. I don't have a problem with what I do. I don't mind having a discussion about anything. And then she said, yeah, as long as you agree, as everybody agrees with you. I said, no, that's just the point.
You cow.
I don't care if you agree with me or not, but we can certainly discuss the issue.
What an idiot she is.
And she then turned away. This was too much for her head, or she was going to explode. So she just sat there. Actually, what she did was when Jay went to commercial, she took off her microphone and walked away because she was too scared to stay in the chair after what she did.
And where did she walk to?
She started to walk off stage, and Jay ran around his desk and said, wait a minute, Linda, the show's not over.
Oh.
And the producers came back and said, no, you have to go finish the show. And she came back, and then she had to put the mic back on and sit down. And that's when she said, I'm sorry I had to do that. And we had this short, brief discussion, and then I realized I was talking to a wall, and I just said, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
And Anthony Edwards and I sat there, and he was like, I don't understand these people. What you said was absolutely true. They just get a life, get the joke, and leave everything alone.
So the dude from ER was cool, but was like Linda listening to you two talking, or was she talking to Jay?
She was sitting there with her head down and her hands folded in her lap, and Jay kept trying to appease her. And finally I leaned over, because I kept hearing him talking to her and saying, it was really good. And
hey, you really did good.
And I leaned over her, and I said, Jay, stop sucking up to Linda.
Oh, man. Oh, gee, they should have taped that.
And then he was like, I'm not sucking up to her. And I said, I can hear you. I know what you're doing over there. And then he really said something insulting to Linda.
What did he say? You eat too much?
He said,
maybe you ought to let out that dress.
I told her that Howard, he's saying those things. He's dealing with an element out there. They don't just get angry. They'll shoot you.
Yeah.
And Linda was smiling for a second, and then all of a sudden she heard Jay saying, my people can't handle free speech, so they shoot people, and the smile just drained from her face.
All I know is the audience sounded like they wanted to lynch Linda, and then I said, well, first of all, they probably didn't because they couldn't find a steel cable to hang her from. A rope would have broken. Jay's probably, hey, Linda, I'll race you to Morton's after the show so we can get a bite to eat.
So then we came back and they said the good nights, and Linda ran off again. And Jay says, hey, Robin, can I have a picture with you?
No.
And I said, way to go, Jay. Way to stand up for me and come to my defense. Oh, but I did. I said, yeah, I could tell.
Jay's a worm.
But you got to admit, it was good television.
It was good television. That's why he rushed to a commercial, that stupid fool. He finally had something interesting on that show. Iron Jay went on for 15 minutes.
He would not have known what to do next with it, so he was doing exactly the right thing.
Yeah.
Caused a little bit of controversy. And the people in the back were like, oh, if we'd only had another minute, we'd have had our promo for the show tonight or something.
Tell me to shut up.
But,
dopes. They don't even know how to produce television.
I know.
That's why they'll always lose to Letterman. And that's why Letterman and Leno will always lose to Nightline.
That's why they're splitting an audience, because neither one of them is compelling enough to hold one or the other. I was thinking about it the other night. You know, David Letterman is no Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson didn't share his audience with anybody.
Yeah, well.
So stop thinking that you're holding up that mantle, David Letterman.
Boy, oh boy, you're on fire from your vacation. I had a feeling you'd come back with a lot to say.
I thought out the whole thing.
Yeah. Well... what was that, Jay?
I'm very careful not to let it get too interesting.
You know what?
Jay,
I said we need a new character on the show, Sniveling Jay.
Yeah.
Sniveling Jay. Hey, wait, why am I a pussy? Why are you calling me a pussy? I let that thing play out for 3 seconds.
Right.
That was riveting television.
Yeah, that was good.
I let it... I'm still under the desk.
You don't mind that, do you?
So, Jay, who do you think won the argument, Robin or Linda Ronstadt?
I don't want to get into that.
All right.
Both of them did well.
If I do choose sides, you know, I have to worry about contingencies.
Right. You want to make sure that everybody is spoken for.
Well, sometimes they have to halt things before anyone gets involved.
Right.
Anthony Edwards won that one, I think.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, that was a nice 15 minutes you did of Iron Jay, making everyone wait.
Must-see TV.
Yeah, that was very important.
Oh, yeah.
A 30-minute monologue with a 15-minute Iron J bit. Left about 10 seconds for the argument.
Yes, we believe in balance on the Tonight Show.
Right. I was glad I got to do the opening announce. You know, at least I got on first.
Yeah, at least there was some acknowledgement that you were there.
The year of the bit.
Right. Year of the bit.
They can't get enough of me. Me.
J.
Yes, J. Iron J, Sniveling J, Evil J, all J.
All day J.
All day J.
All day J. Well, anyway, that was a lot of fun, listening to that tape and listening to the hypocrite Linda Ronstadt.
The hypocrite.
There were so many... I checked the Prodigy service to see what they were saying about your appearance, and everyone universally agreed. Here it is. Who else is surprised that she had time between bonbons to comment on a show she admits she doesn't listen to? Howard is so right. All these stupid celebrities have nothing to say when it comes to Woody Allen, O.J., Michael Jackson, yet they all somehow find the nerve to open up their big fat yaps when it comes to the king of all media.
Mm-hmm.
Hoo boy. A no-talent singer who hasn't had a hit record since Watergate has decided to start a skirmish with Howard and the gang by trying to embarrass Robin on national TV. Didn't work, though. Robin proved to be the better person by acting cool and calm while Ms. Ronstadt was merrily abusing the privileges that Jay Leno accords his guests. Houcho's gonna nuke her come this Monday morning.
Absolutely. That's what everyone said. Whoa, what did she do?
A new feud is born. That is from Kenneth. Here's from Tracy. When Fat Linda said I could barely get through my song, I wish Robin would have shot back. We could tell. Ron Fat is a loser and tone deaf to boot. That's from Sean in Montgomery. Let's see. Why couldn't Linda Ronstadt have talked to Robin in private if it upset her so much? She did it in front of the cameras because right now she might get a little play in the papers and maybe someone will remember her. Too bad, Linda. This one accuses the Tonight Show of using a wide-angle lens for Linda during the segment. This person says, I hope Stuttering John finds her in public just once.
Ooh.
Here's George Lopez, the comedian, evidently commented on it. He says, I'm glad Linda Ronstadt is acknowledging her Mexican-American roots and finally showing that she's proud to be a Latina. But why did she have to wait until she's fat to do it? Good point.
Yeah, when she was thin, she had no clue what her roots were.
Yeah. Of course, the press has reported this incident in several times, quoting everything Linda Ronstadt had to say and barely quoting what Robin had to say.
Course,
Someone else pointing that out. That's from John on the Prodigy service.
We're getting our usual coverage from the press.
Does anyone else here think that Ronstadt's real problem is that she had to take second billing to Robin on The Tonight Show? Here's a guy who says, hey, by the way, I went back to check the original show about Selena's death. No gunshots were played over her music or while talking about Selena. Shots were played over Eddie Murphy's song, Yeah, that Howard started playing. We never even did it, but no one would have bothered with that, of course.
Well, I always also said no one came out to see what kinds of crowds showed up at the book signings. And
Mexican-American, 40%.
Because there's no news there that will rile people up.
Yes. Linda Ronstadt is now crossing the border into Mexico, checking in at 200 pounds.
Casting a shadow over the border.
They weighed her in at a truck station. She is such a phony hypocrite. After what I've learned about her in Sun City, you can't help but laugh. I'll take some phone calls right after this. Robin, I'm yet to tell you about my vacation.
Oh, there were other things that happened, too. I was in Boston and got interviewed by Mark Parento, an old friend of yours.
Yes, and I also want to ask you about your meeting with Dennis Fung.
I met Dennis Fung.
I want to find out about that.
And Joe Frazier showed up at my book signing in Philadelphia.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, the great Joe Frazier.
That's right.
He was mad you didn't mention him in the book. You only mentioned Muhammad.
He is mentioned in the book.
Well, yeah.
There's pictures even in the book, but he said, you know, you didn't have to say all that stuff about Muhammad being so
right,
great.
right. Absolutely.
You know me.
Well, anyway, you were quite the sensation, Robin.
I had a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. And I want to hear the rest of that. I want to take some phone calls. I want to tell you what I did on vacation.
Yes, I want to know about Arizona. That's my state. That's my getaway state.
Is that right?
How dare you go there?
And you'll reveal to us who read the book to Joe, your book, to Joe Frazier. And and reveal to us how they greased Linda Ronstadt's hips to get her out of the Tonight Show door.
They have it was one of the studios. They bring in trains, so they opened up those big wide doors.
What a hypocrite bitch she is. She ought to call in. And,
do you know we were staying at the same hotel? That was the funniest
And did
part.
you see her there?
No, I didn't run into her, but I had these security guys with me, and I left this downstairs area where I was, and I started for the elevator. I thought nobody saw me, and all of a sudden I had 3 security guys in the elevator with me, and I said, what do you guys think? Something's going to happen? And they said, well, we heard Linda Ronstadt's in the building, and we want to protect her from you.
All right, we'll take a break, and we'll be back right after these.
You'll all see.
How'd you like to look like this picture?
You'd be angry, too.
Yeah, I'll blow you up.
But anyway, they found a guy who had served with him over in Desert Storm.
Yeah.
And they were talking to him. No, he seemed like a pretty okay guy. Yeah, he was a little suspicious of the government. And was a little concerned about that whole Waco thing, but he seemed like an okay guy.
Yeah.
That's what everybody says about every maniac we ever discover. They seemed okay.
Anyway, and just as long as we're talking about it, there is a thing set up in the K-Rock lobby here if anyone wants to donate some money. Even Jackie went for $1,000.
Well, $9.50 because I got to give you the $50 for the bet.
Everything comes out of that.
And
so anyway, we're collecting, and people can come in with donations.
Yeah, up until 12 o'clock.
To a booth we have set up in the lobby of K-Rock, which is at 600 Madison Avenue.
Yeah. So let's see, we already raised, just from our own show,
$1,700 or something.
$17,000.
Or $17,000, yeah.
Right. 1,700 would be a pretty dismal showing.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My zero was off.
Yeah. Anyway, let me play this. This is Robin on The Tonight Show. And here is that disgusting pig, Linda Ronstadt, sitting down with Jay and trying to blast Robin, except it all backfires when the audience starts booing. We did a whole rap on this at 6 o'clock in the morning for over an hour and a half, so we're a little burnt out on the topic, but I figure maybe some people missed it. Linda Ronstadt had a little conniption, but it was a convenient conniption because she hasn't sold any albums in a while, so now all of a sudden she's...
Notice she didn't leave before singing that song and pushing the album.
Yeah, right.
She's so disgusted.
Yeah.
She was distracted from singing, but she sang anyway.
She sang because she's such a professional, and she sat down, and of course...
No, she didn't sing because she was a professional.
I'm being sarcastic, I think. But she sat down and went into some little stupid thing about our show, which she has never heard. She's upset about the show, but she's never heard the show, and she doesn't know why she's upset. When she was questioned, she wasn't sure why she was upset.
But she's upset as a woman and a Mexican-American.
Yeah. Now she's a Mexican-American. Of course, she never used to cop to that, as far as I know. I didn't hear her talking about it for years.
Everybody was shocked when she started singing these Latin songs. Everybody said, why? And then she said, oh, by the way, I am Mexican-American.
Yeah, and by the way, she fails to tell you that she used to play Sun City in the 80s and has failed to apologize for it. She refuses to apologize.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's a blacklist set up of people, performers who did that, and all they have to do to get off the blacklist, supposedly, is to say, I'm sorry, and she won't say she's sorry.
She really liked taking all that money.
Yeah, especially from black people who, of course, have been enslaved, but she's worried about Mexican Americans. I'm sure she cares about a lot of people. What she cares about is promoting her stupid album and kowtowing to politically correct forces.
Very nice. Oh, you're always terrific. Emmylou Harris has done this too, right?
She is indeed.
Yeah. That fun?
It was fun, but I was kind of distracted when I was singing. It's not my place to take issue with one of your guests, but...
She looked like she was going to burst into tears.
Yeah, she's a coward.
Yeah.
She didn't really feel this, because if you really feel something like this, what are you afraid of, and why are you so nervous about it?
Yeah, she's a cow-word.
I felt deeply upset by what you said, and I think that it's because Howard Stern is not really presenting himself as a character, as a lovable bigot. He's
understand what we're doing, and if you're going to react to what you read in the press...
She thinks the people who listen to this show are ignorant? Is that what she just said? She says, she thinks they're ignorant? She's out of touch. She got completely shocked when they started booing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to clear it up for Linda, we don't present ourselves as anything but real people, because that's all we are, not as characters. That wasn't the point we were trying to, Robin was trying to make. And the thing is that...
I never said you were a lovable bigot.
Yeah, I know. I mean, she just came out and blurted that out and then has never heard the show, never listened to it. But, she thought that, like, all these politically correct a-holes would start applauding her and her big, fat, chubby fingers. Why doesn't she talk about apartheid? Why doesn't she talk about what she did in South Africa?
Yeah, maybe if she had come out and said, I've made mistakes in my past.
Yeah. This is a woman...
I'm try to make up for it now.
This is a woman who sings songs. I've never once heard her say a word about any other performer. Not about Woody Allen dating Sun Yi's daughter. Mia Farrow's daughter. Not about O.J. Simpson being guilty of murder. Nothing. I've never heard her come out against Michael Jackson.
There's not one performer she has a problem with.
No problems, but with you-know-who. Me. And I'm not sitting there. Robin's sitting there.
And thank God I got, this white woman to come and tell me how stupid I am.
Yeah. Because you don't know how to behave as a black woman.
That's right. I got her telling me how I'm supposed to act.
No, she's not a white woman. Now she's Spanish. Now she became Spanish.
I think she's a white woman.
Yeah, well, I'm with
what
you.
You say.
Fred's more Spanish.
You're going to have...
The only thing she's upset about is because she has to, during the song, she couldn't go eat.
This misconception about what we do.
I think
the audience understands it. When you leave things out of context, you can be misled.
I think you're shilling for him. I think he's taking advantage of you.
Yeah.
Fine, yeah.
You're so
Everybody
stupid.
is stupider than you.
Yeah.
You're the only one who can figure everything out.
Yeah, she's the only one not shilling for anyone. Oh, I think you're stupid. You're shilling for somebody. How come you sing the songs of Jackson Brown, sweetheart? What was that between him and Daryl Hannah going on? What was that
Have you
all?
said anything to Jackson?
Yeah, you're a lying bitch. You're a double... You know what you are? You're a double coward.
No,
you're a hypocrite. You're a double-chin coward. You're a bloated witch who is a hypocrite of the worst kind. When we're
You're a woman who showed your breasts on your albums to sell them.
Yeah, but that's okay.
But now as a woman, you're offended by their show.
Yeah, but she knows what she's doing. You evil satanic bitch. I would never perform in Sun City. That's one thing I know. You could sit there with all your high morals and everything else. But I wasn't over in South Africa performing.
That's right. You didn't collect a dime on the backs of poor black people.
Yeah, she's so worried about people. That lying nothing. That fat cow, Rosie O'Donnell wannabe. I remember the days when Linda Ronstadt used to sing those songs. It was kind of cute. You know, she'd sing the Rolling Stones song and this and that. Now she's making goo-goo eyes at the food. What's her sport? Working the remote control on the TV?
Her only exercises I can tell is clearing that hair out of her face.
Yeah,
whipping into her face.
Her exercise is sitting and telling women how they should behave.
Yeah. We should listen to her.
Yeah. She's the last person.
What are her credentials?
That big, fat pig, lying pig. Come and talk to me.
Miss, I forgot my background until my album sales went down.
Yeah. She suddenly became Spanish. See? Built like the Liberty Bell. Sing a new song. Where's her song? Where's that song? I say, where's that song? Huh. Here. Could hear her farting in the background. And eating as she sings. She tried to eat Jay's arm.
Feeling better now we're through. Feeling better. I learned my lesson and left the scar. Now I see how you really are.
She must be singing about her appearance in South Africa.
You know, this is good because she hasn't been played on the radio in such a long time.
Yeah.
She forgot what this was like.
Well, that's what it was about. I'm so fat, I'm so fat, I'm so fat, I'm so fat, baby, I'm so fat. And I'm a hypocrite to boot. In South Africa, I like to take money off of enslaved black people. I won't apologize for it, but suddenly I'm Mexican-American because I might sell a few albums for food money. I'm so fat, baby, I'm so fat. And I'm a hypocrite to boot. I won't talk about anything except Howard Stern and tell Robin how to live as a woman. All right, this is the part where she sings about how she's a pig. That's her anus talking.
She's on a run.
Now she eats and blasts. Hold it. An eating machine.
All right, guys, but I know what we do. And you don't listen because obviously you have a problem with it, so you can't comment on it. Of course you can.
I'm a pig, I'm a pig, I'm a pig. I'm a pig, I'm a pig, I'm a pig. Baby, I'm a pig. And I'm a hypocrite to boot. Ah, shut up. Listen to that. Cloying. Last big album for her, huh? How many did she put out? Bombs. She suddenly got brave. You don't even hear this woman talk about O.J. Two people killed, obviously O.J., and there's a jury that can't come to a decision probably.
Well, nobody's giving them the chance.
Yeah, believe me, they won't. They got a judge who's sitting there, who's dragging the thing out for his own publicity. She
Finally,
can't think
the jury told him how to run the case, so he's changed all the rules. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
They got him in a little chamber and told him what his job was.
Yeah, right. She's sitting there. She said, well, she should have come out and said, Jay, in front of Robin, in front of your other guest there, the guy from ER, whose name I don't know. Nobody knows.
Anthony.
They're saying he's a sex symbol. I don't know. I don't see it. I think I'm more of a sex symbol. She just sat there and she says, Jay, I would like to say something to you. I'm embarrassed about what I did in the 80s. I played Sun City. I got greedy. I would like to take the money I made off of these black people who were enslaved by white people.
They now have control of their country, and I'm going to give back the money.
I'd first like to apologize. For years, I've refused to apologize because I'm a stubborn nitwit. And I would like to say that I'd like to give back the money plus interest to the government of South Africa, the new government of South Africa, because I'm ashamed of myself as a human being. Instead, the hypocrite got on, and she goes, oh, I don't like that show I've never heard before.
Yeah.
Like the Cardinal when he says, I don't like that movie, I never saw it.
I've never heard the show, and I don't know Howard Stern, but I know he's a hate monger.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
And Jay, furthermore, I know that you're offended by my size. I'd like to stick my finger down my throat and vomit myself into thinness right now in front of your audience. I'm going to vomit until I'm in fighting shape. Because it's an offense to your audience. That bitch. All she got to do. She was handed everything in life. When you can sing, you stand up there and you sing. What kind of brains does that take?
And she doesn't even sing the song she wrote.
No, she couldn't write a song.
And then she takes them and she sings them exactly the same way other people did.
Yeah. Out of tune. Yeah. Crappy covers. Yeah, Grandpa. Yeah.
Some artist.
Yeah, I could do that. Name a song. Yeah, let's see what's on this album. Yeah, I got an album right here. Here, let's see. Right. Yeah.
Can't write. Too busy eating. Yeah.
Desperado. Those are the Eagles. Yeah, now the way she looks, the only Eagles she makes love to is real Eagles. That's right. Yeah.
She ate the eagle. Yeah.
I'm going to listen to Desperado, hear what interpretation she did of it, what new spin she put on this song that I had to go hear this. We should get that new album and play it. Gary, buy me the new Linda Ronstadt album. I want to hear it. I want to hear what she came up with.
Going to make a sale.
Yeah. Very serious. It doesn't sound anything like the Eagles version. It's the exact same thing. Fettuccine, spaghetti and meatballs and roast beef, mustard and pickles are nowhere to be found in Jay Leno's green room. Oh, fettuccine. Ah, screw her. Hypocrite bitch.
I bet she listens now.
Yeah. Oh, is it the new one?
That's the new one, yeah.
Yeah.
What she did on the Tonight Show.
The Waiting. Yeah, this sounded real different. Sounded exactly different from what Tom Petty did. Tom Petty sitting there going, wait, didn't I do this already?
Yeah, what is she doing to this song?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so lucky. Linda Ronstadt's going to cover my song.
You know what the hardest part of the waiting is? Waiting for the next meal. I don't think she's waiting much at all.
Oh, baby,
wait a minute, where is she singing?
She's in Grand Canyon. Like this. Big fat pig singing the same damn song over and over again, eating raw beef and sushi. Sauerkraut and pickles and jam, bagels, and the waiting for the next meal is hard. The waiting is the hardest part.
You take it on faith, you take it to the heart.
All the waiting for the next meal is hard. You bitch. You bitch on 2 feet. Go apologize to the people of South Africa before you comment on me, hypocrite. Book me on the Tonight Show. Well, they might actually book me. Don't book me on the Tonight Show.
Yeah, they're asking.
I got nothing to promote. Write me a book. All the hypocrites in the world. They suddenly get a big toilet mouth when it comes to me. But you know what? When you dig a little bit into their past, you find out.
Yeah, that they got plenty of problems they need to atone for. They don't need to worry about what you're doing.
Talk about your friend Jackson Brown.
We're going to find out all about you.
Yeah, we're going to do a complete investigation. And Stuttering John will find you, Linda.
Yeah, you better stay home, Linda.
Limburger. Blimpa. Ronfat. Linda Ronfat. If it was 1944, no one would have a bad word about Hitler, but me, they'd fry.
Comment about things taken out of context and things you don't understand. You don't want to listen. You don't like that kind of radio. You don't have to listen. There are other stations. There's a whole dial.
Yeah, you cow-faced loser. Say it. Here comes Jay.
As a woman and as a Mexican-American, I feel he is very offensive and extremely irresponsible.
And what are you offended by? Tell us.
Know.
She didn't know. Now she's a Mexican-American.
Right.
Yeah, well, how come you're not offended for the people of South Africa?
You're not Mexican-American or women, I guess.
I like you coming on. I like you.
Is that music starting up now?
Yeah, they're now playing music. I don't know what to do. They're like,
disaster music. Quick, Jay, what was
Cue
going
the band. I'm scared. I wish Branford was here. I don't have anybody to protect me.
I'm deeply offended. By what? By no ketchup in the green room.
I both like you coming on and speaking your mind. Good for you. Good for you.
Good for you. Good for you. Speaking your mindlessness. And then nice, pleasant commercial break.
right.
Linda got up, walked off, and then walked back on.
That's right. I said, oh, I'm sorry, I had to do that.
Oh, is she a cow? Yeah, that album's going to sell a lot of copies. That appearance helped you, Linda. Well, like so many people, they make a grandstand.
Oh, it's easy. Like I said, there's nothing to be done here.
You attach your name.
Absolutely nothing that is going to change in a Mexican American's life because of anything we have said on this show.
Exactly. But Linda Ronstadt's just such a hypocrite. It's pathetic. And she's so repulsive. She must smell so bad. Imagine you marry her and then all of a sudden you end up with that 5 years later. Boy, Governor Brown knew what he was doing. That guy's smart. He got her when she was thin.
He got her between meals.
Yeah, he nailed her between meals. I thought she was pregnant with. I thought she was going to be offended that Governor Brown got her pregnant, and she wanted to announce that it wasn't right. Oh God. Did you see the appearance, Billy?
Yes.
Did you think that was like not Linda Ronstadt that an impersonator was on?
I couldn't figure it out.
Because Jay said, "Here's Linda Ronstadt," and then they flashed to this grandmother, and I said, "Oh no, it's another bit.
It's a joke.
It's a bit. That's Iron Jay."
I just was focusing in on how out of tune and how just
lame,
crappy the.
That's because she was busy worrying about Robin.
Howling hippies.
Well, it was all my fault.
Yeah, did you see those guys?
Yeah, howling old hippies.
They looked as bad. You ruined the song.
Everything that happens in the world is our fault.
Right. Yeah, you even ruined people's Tonight Show appearances. That
could have made friends
loser.
With a bowl of mashed potatoes. You could have made friends fast, Robin.
Yeah, I should have had some food with me. I didn't have any food on me.
You should have said, "Wait a second, this is wrong." You come back from commercial and you start feeding her.
Linda's hungry. Here's a Snickers.
Yeah. And then you could have taken up some chained black people. You should have told the guys in the band that Linda performed at Sun City. They would have gone up and lynched her. They would have taken an iron rope, because you don't use real rope with Linda. They would have taken, what do you call that? An iron cable. It's made out of iron or something, and they would have strung her up.
A steel cable.
Yeah, they would have fixed her good. Strung her right up by the pubes. Goodbye.
Kevin could have Elka-bunged her with that guitar of his.
Super.
Notice you couldn't play with the Tonight Show band either. She had to bring her own band.
Yeah, well,
who could play that great Linda Ronstadt
Linda
music?
Ronstadt band.
That's her band.
Well, who would play with filthy blacks who should only be enslaved by South Africa? Did she play Sun City? That must be her feeling.
Linda Ronstadt. That weird,
filthy
She occasionally validates black artists by singing with them. We're so lucky.
Yeah, she threw a bone to Aaron Neville.
Yeah.
We got to get Aaron on this show and find out what the story is.
I saw her. I was so patronizing. She said, "We have to. She's collecting all the awards and all the money. We have to thank Mother Neville for having those wonderful sons
that I can sing with." But I like when they're more enslaved, like in South Africa. It's more fun to be there.
He gave them freedom.
Yeah. Go eat grass and make milk, you cow. Thank you. All right, well, that's enough for her. I'm not giving her any more publicity, and go ahead. Thank you. A guilty man sitting there going, "Oh, my God, look what I did to her." Actually, I interpret that as a guy fighting to stay out of jail and try and prove to the jury that he had nothing to do with it.
He's an actor.
He's so guilty.
They've shown her pictures many times in that courtroom, and it never brought him to. Why now? How many months later? He seemed pretty calm the day after she died from those tapes we've been listening to on hard copy.
You think Linda Ronstadt, if she was going to be outraged by something, she would have come out and said, "Oh my God, OJ's so guilty." It just amazes me what people choose to speak out about.
Well, as a woman, Mexican American, she could care.
Yeah. Yeah, she has her issues as a woman and a Mexican American. Like, as a woman, aren't you concerned that OJ killed 2 people?
No.
Maybe use valuable airtime to talk about that. don't know. Los Angeles, you're on the air. Hello? Let's go to Buffalo. Buffalo, you're on the air.
Howard.
Yeah.
As long as people are going to make comments about who's fat, I think Robin ought to shut her mouth.
Oh, I can still call somebody fat if they're fat.
Well, you know, you talk about being hypocrites and everything. I think the fattest
I didn't say I wasn't.
She never said she was thin. You know, sir,
That's
you're...
the difference. You don't know what a hypocrite is.
You're such a filthy jackass that you don't know the difference. When somebody admits to being heavy, why is that hypocritical? But to call somebody else heavy is hypocritical?
Well, then I guess she knows what she's talking about.
That's right.
I guess she eats the best food. Unlike
I never saw her eat Pizza Hut.
Absolutely. You can find a good restaurant if you follow me.
Well, I think you should just start picking on her. Maybe you're the hypocrite then, Howard.
Yeah, maybe I am, sir. You want to know something, sir? Maybe I am. Too bad, but I'm here and you're in Buffalo. I'm a hypocrite.
He doesn't know. He's all...
Howard, there's a lady on the phone.
This guy's unbelievable. He spoke to Abe Lincoln through his shower head. Professor Periwinkle. What is it?
There's a lady on the phone. She may be the most annoying person I've ever heard from. She is railing about you and Linda. You're picking on Linda Ronstadt.
Oh, let me take care of this. Hello? You're going to argue with me?
Yes, Big Nose. First of all...
Big Nose?
Yes. She never denied she was Spanish. Stevie Stills is Colombian. He never goes around telling people...
Who is this?
Do you go around telling people what you are?
Yes.
And you're not half Italian. You're making that up.
Yes, I am, too. Don't you tell me what I'm making up. Are you in my family, you bitch?
Talk about bitches.
You big
Talk
bitch.
about bitches? I was told what the curse. You want to know fatness? Look at Elsie the cow right there in front of you. Quivers.
Hey, let me tell you something about Robin.
Together.
Let me tell you something about Robin. She is so much lovelier than you. You can't even comment, you smelly witch.
Wait, Howard, hold
You
on.
are a fatso.
She's so far, she's called the... This is a whole different thing.
And let me tell you something, honey. All I know is...
Don't call me honey.
I'm not... Listen, honey.
I'll call the Mexican consulate on you.
Good. Call him. Call him. Get him down here. Get him down here. I'll punch him in the nose. You fat whore.
You skinny peenie.
What? Teeny peeny.
That hurt.
Teeny peeny.
Teeny peeny. You're the one that goes around telling everybody you have a teeny peeny.
Yeah, at least I can admit what I have. I'd love to... You know what? Come down here and let me see what you look like.
I won't come down there for your...
You know why? Because you're a big cow.
Stop bad-mouthing Linda Ronstadt. Why didn't you do it when you were in...
smelly cow.
Why didn't you do it in Arizona? Do you know that her father owns half that town?
What did you say?
They would have put you in bars.
What did you say?
I said, why didn't you start bad-mouthing her in Arizona?
Sure, I did.
Her father owns half the town.
Yeah, let him come down here. I'll punch him in the nose.
Oh, yeah? Because you're not in Phoenix anymore. You probably didn't even know, you moron.
Oh, yeah, I'm not in Phoenix anymore? I'm in Phoenix right now. My show is airing in Phoenix right now. That's as good as being there. And don't tell me about her father, and don't tell me about her. Let me tell you something.
All I know is...
Do you care about black people? Do you care at all about black people, or just your own selfish mouth?
Linda and you don't.
You don't care about black people?
And you
mean it's okay to care about Mexican people, but it's not okay to care about black people?
I care about...
I don't care about any people. I don't claim to care about anybody. When Linda Ronstadt starts calling people racist, she better look in her own backyard.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't call... I don't claim to be anything.
Lady.
You big fat... You go F yourself. I had a bleeper. She told me to go F myself. I said, you go F yourself. That was V. West, Billy's wife. I don't know who that was.
She called the Mexican consulate.
Good
about you. She
call.
called Radio City Security. Complained about you.
Good. I'm telling you, Linda Ronstadt is playing May 13th at Radio City Music Hall. We ought to go out there in our African garb and say, hey, pig, how come you got to sit and call everyone racist when you played Sun City during the height of apartheid when they begged you, don't go to Sun City and be a shill for the South African government, you lying rat.
And you know, Howard, that's another weird point. We pointed out this whole thing about Sun City, but nobody's written about it.
Nobody writes it. Nobody will write it in newspapers.
You're still the villain.
Yep, I'm the villain. She was right.
You can do anything in this country but be Howard Stern.
Yep. Being Howard Stern is dangerous. Cripes. Pig.
Teeny peeny.
Teeny peeny. And of course, right away, this great racial defendant.
That's right.
Starts screaming about Jews and F you.
Yeah.
With the F word.
Well, I told her.
Because she's, you know what it is? She's a fake. She isn't anything. She's dirt. And like most fakes, I rooted her out, and she hung up.
I said to her,
Take it.
I said to her, don't you care? You know, you're saying all those things about Howard. Don't you care that Linda Ronstadt played Sun City? And she said no. And then I said, well, then you're a racist. And she said, no, you're a racist because I never married a black woman.
What?
Because I didn't marry a black woman, I'm the racist.
Oh, boy.
No, I admit that.
Boy, is she an arguer.
Oh, come on.
She's a great debater.
Yeah. All right, I got to take a break now. That was fun. Glad you went on the Tonight Show. That was good.
Always aiming to help.
Yeah. Yeah, what did we do before Robin went on the Tonight Show?
I gotta go on again.
Yeah. No wonder Jay's beating Dave. All right, we got to take a break, and we'll be back on right after these words.
We'll return to the Howard Stern Show after these messages.
Jackie Joke Man.
The Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Jackie has that wild comedy CD or cassette you should buy. It's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. The Jokeland special, buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. Tonight, Jackie's involved with a big benefit for with All Folked Up and Vinnie St. Martin at the Long Island Brewing Company in Jericho on Long Island. For dirty jokes and Robin excerpts, call 516-9221. Speaking of Jackie's wife, she went into the studio and cut our Sun City Linda Ronstadt song.
Oh, yeah?
I'll be playing that today.
So that's done.
Would you like to hear that?
Yeah.
All right. I'll play it for you right now. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. This is about that fat pig, Linda Ronstadt. And you'll hear how she's a hypocrite in this song. Good morning. How are you? Hope everybody's having a good day. Linda Ronstadt. She's a big fat pig with a big mouth.
Hey, Sun City, I'll come and sing if you pay me. Just please don't weigh me. I'm 410.
At least.
Your blacks are beaten. Can't vote. Badly mistreated. But as long as I've eaten, I don't give a crap.
Shammooing in the background.
Oh, I love my shrimp and garlic sauce. But tell me, where do I get off? Telling anybody how to live. South Africa paid me big bucks while blacks were slaves. I ate duck and ribs. Fat, sloppy ribs. I'm an occasional Latino. When it helps me sell records, I eat triple deckers and bond with Jose. I may be phony,
very phony,
but it helps me buy bologna. I eat vats of macaroni. I'll explode any day. Oh, I once was cute and I had fans. Now I don't hide that I'm Mexican, because I can't seem to sell my stupid, crappy songs. Who cares about friggin' apartheid? I got paid. Who cares who died? I'm gone. I'm gone. My big belly, it moves and jiggles like jelly. No wonder I got dumped so fast by Governor Brown. I played Sun City, and now now I'm huge and not pretty.
Yes.
No wonder black folk hate me, and no one dates me. I'm a big porky hypocrite. I act like black people don't count.
Coming in at number 1.
Number 1. Linda Ronstadt song. Hey, Sun City.
Well, beautiful job. Very nice. Sings like an angel. Talks like a truck driver, though.
Oh, we use that.
Very
You know
beautiful Sirianni modeling. Well, there it is. Hey, Sun City. Certainly poignant. Right?
Definitely. Tugs at the heartstrings.
Tugs at the heartstrings. You bet. You bet. Well, we have tons of mail to get to today. We have actual mystery records to play for you. Of course I'm serious. I wouldn't lie to you. Lie to everyone else, but not you. And yesterday, we received the best information of all. You know, it was a couple of weeks ago that Robin, when she was out on the promotional tour promoting Quiver's A Life, first edition still available, by the way.
Somebody
Going out fast.
said it does say first edition.
It does. Yeah, that's what I have. That's what I own.
You better check. Make sure.
No, I know what I have. Why don't you tell me? When Robin was out promoting Quiver's A Life, my favorite book.
Of all the books you've read.
I love it. I love your book. I am your biggest fan. I know your parents didn't like it, but I like it. I love your book, actually. I really do. And I must tell you that when you were out on the promotional tour and you did battle with Linda Ronstadt, the horrible singer.
Yes.
It was beautiful to see. And then, of course, I got all riled up and made my comments. And we found out that she was a true hypocrite, that she actually played Sun City and never apologized for it. This woman who's worried about the races getting along.
Well, no, I don't think she's worried about the races getting along. I think that
she's worried about selling records.
She was just offended as a Mexican-American and a woman. She doesn't care about any other group.
Yeah, she certainly, with that statement, by playing Sun City. Then, of course, this organization suddenly erupted. This LULAC, it's calling itself. LULAC. The Latin Latino Association.
Latin Urban Latin.
Give me that article from yesterday, will you, Flolly? This Mexican group somehow who's worried about Mexican rights all of a sudden got on my ass, and they got in the newspaper all over using my name. Hector Flores, the LULAC director, we cannot let someone like Stern profiteer off the suffering that we are feeling. Because I dare to say I don't like Tejano music.
That's an interesting statement.
Yeah, we can't let Howard Stern profiteer off our suffering. Yesterday, it was exposed in the newspaper that the former leader of LULAC is now going to jail. He will be sentenced in August for ripping off the Hispanic community, and we have not yet heard one word about this from LULAC.
Would that
Talk
be
about profiteering
off of the suffering of his people?
I think a lot worse than I am profiteering. This crank organization, LULAC. How dare they, mother dear? Mr. Velez was charged with conspiracy and filing false statements with the Immigration Service in connection with a scheme where he bilked $85,000 a day.
Yeah, that's not just $85,000. You're talking about $85,000 a day.
Yeah.
From people.
Mr. Velez kept $280,000 in cash in a safe at his home. I don't know if LULAC at all was involved. The rest of these yokels were involved in this case at all. But I'll tell you something. If I ran a company, you can't always steal alone, you know. If you're the president of a company, there's always a bookkeeper, there's a this, there's that. There are people who might have been aware of this. I'm not saying they were, but I would investigate further this organization that so-called stands up for Mexican-American rights. $85,000 a day off the backs. This is the guy who is heading the organization. This organization is a sham and a shakedown as far as I'm concerned. $85,000 a day a leader? This is the leader? $85,000? There's corruption right there in the organization.
Well, that's why they were so hurt by your term that,
There's corruption in Mexico.
Officials are corrupt.
And look at this quote. We cannot let someone like Stern profiteer off the suffering that we are feeling. Well, look into your own organization.
Maybe they mean the only people who are allowed to profiteer are people like them.
By the way, the man who uncovered all of this stuff and has been following this story, the reporter who wrote this story, will be calling in on the show today to tell us more.
Wonderful. I'd like to know more about that organization.
Also, Linda Ronstadt, who played Sun City at the height of apartheid when South African blacks were being locked in prison just for being black.
You know, it's interesting.
She is going to be at Radio City Music Hall this Saturday. I've contacted the Reverend Al Sharpton, who had not returned my calls. He has not returned my calls. A friend of Gary's knows Reverend Sharpton.
Mm-hmm.
And he got to him last night and informed him of what was going on. And I understand Harry Belafonte and Reverend Sharpton are very concerned because Harry Belafonte was at the head, if you remember, of this whole anti-apartheid movement.
Absolutely.
And I understand that there could be a big doing Saturday if Sharpton and Harry Belafonte decide to get on her ass.
Linda Ronstadt did have a philosophy behind her appearance in Sun City, according to an article that was faxed to me that appeared in the Village Voice.
Oh, yeah? What is her philosophy? Money. That's it. Money.
Let's see what she said.
Oh, let me guess. Can I guess first before you say it?
Go ahead.
Here's her philosophy. I thought by going there, since blacks were allowed to go to Sun City, of course, what she doesn't tell you is that it costs so much money to go to Sun City, no black in South Africa could afford to go there, even though they had the option to go there. If I went there, that means I could get my music out to black people. And they would see that I care about them. And I could make anti-government statements.
Well, here it is, Howard. You're close.
Yeah, of course. She's a hypocrite.
I personally feel that art should never be boycotted.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
In rock and roll, or if rock and roll had been circulating freely through South Africa from the 60s on, I think there would have been even more of a change by now.
Yeah, okay.
Look what happened over here. There was a revolution in the 60s, some of it for the good, a lot of it not so good, but much of it for the good.
Well,
and that was propelled by pop music.
Let me tell you something. By not appearing in Sun City and not feeding money to the South African government and appearing as a shill for the South African government, making it seem like everything's okay, that's what that whole apartheid thing was about, and not appearing in South Africa. Had nothing to do with getting rock and roll to the people.
She was looking for justification for taking that money.
Yeah, she's a big, fat hypocrite.
But I like the statement that art should never be boycotted.
Right. Her art. Meanwhile, every other artist had turned down money.
Yeah, but she wants us boycotted.
Right. Oh, yeah. She's behind that. That lying pig. What a phony baloney pig. Let me play my song. Can I play my song?
Oh, please.
That fatso. I hope Sharpton and Harry Belafonte show up. Stop boycotting. If they show up, I'll show up.
The Village Voice dubbed her Sun City Girl.
Did they? Sun City Girl. Here she is. Fatso.
Hey, Sun City, I'll come and sing if you pay me.
I'll sing if you pay me.
Just please don't weigh me.
Yeah, don't weigh her.
I'm 410.
That's being kind.
Your blacks are beaten.
The blacks were beaten, Robin.
Can't vote and badly mistreated. But as long as I've eaten, I don't give a crap.
That cow.
Oh, I love my shrimp and garlic sauce, but tell me where do I get off telling anybody how to live? South Africa paid me big bucks while blacks were slaves. I ate duck and ribs. Fat, sloppy ribs. I'm gonna occasional Latino.
An occasional Latino, that's true.
When it helps me sell records.
Yeah, why didn't she mention she was Latino early on?
I eat triple deckers and bond with Jose. I may be phony.
You are so phony.
But it helps me buy bologna.
The only thing that rhymes with phony is bologna.
I eat vats of macaroni. I'll explode any day. Oh, I was so cute and I had fans. Now I don't hide that I'm Mexican. Because I can't seem to sell my stupid, crappy song. Who cares about friggin' up or tied? I got paid. Who cares who died? I'm gone. I'm gone. My big belly, it moves and jiggles like jelly. No wonder I got dumped so fast by Governor Brown.
Remember he was with her.
I played Sun City.
There's the point of the song.
And now I'm huge and not pretty. No wonder black folk hate me. And no one dares me. I'm a big porky hypocrite. Act like black people don't count.
Worried about Mexicans. She ain't worried about anything but the next meal. Big liar. Jackie, we found you something you're good at.
Amazing how he's come to life.
Yeah. I want to thank my wife for singing that song.
You mean Jackie's wife?
No, that was my wife.
All the wives on the show.
That was Jackie's wife. Nancy Sirianni Martling with her band All Folked Up. Where are they going to be tonight? At 54 Grove Street in Greenwich Village?
Greenwich Village, yeah. Big showcase for them.
Tell them not to wear a bra. All right, we'll be back right after these words.
That's what Linda did.
Yep. That's funny. Anyway, so imagine growing up in a land where you're not allowed to vote, you're not allowed to even hold a job without somebody telling you. And just picture this for a second. Try and put yourself in somebody else's shoes. You're growing up, and you can't vote. You're practically a slave.
You can't get an education.
Right. No one lets you read because if you read, you might get too smart. One guy tries to help you out, but they lock him in jail for life because he tried to say something against the government.
Also, you have to live in a separate area of town.
Right. Now, let me ask you something. If you heard the conditions that were going on like that, would you visit a country? Would you work in that country? If you heard that black people, white people, green people, any kind of people, if animals were being locked into this situation.
People are demonstrating about the treatment of veal.
Yeah. I like the guys who run around outside of outside of these fast food restaurants. They're holding up signs saying no more veal because the veals are locked up in cages. Well, excuse me, we don't want a tough, veiny veal. You want a veal that doesn't have any muscle.
Tender.
Yeah, you want it tender and not muscular. I got no problem with that. You want to raise a veal in a box? Fine. I don't even know what a veal is. I don't even know where that comes from. What's a veal?
It's a calf, isn't it?
Yeah, calf. You want to put a calf in a cardboard box so that when I bite into my sandwich, there won't be muscle? I'm for it. Okay, I'm for it. But when you tell me, I worry about people. I don't worry about animals. I'm a people person. Before I'm going to be outside a fast food restaurant worrying about the veal, I'm going to worry about people.
You're going to make sure they're all straight first.
See, Linda Ronstadt worries about veal.
No, she doesn't worry about the veal either.
You think she'd eat it if it was muscular? Well, anyway.
I don't think she'd be able to wait.
If it's got some Parmesan on it. If it's a cardboard box that they keep the veal in and it's got Parmesan on it, she'll go for it.
Close to food.
Yeah. So anyway, imagine you grow up in a land like this where you're not even allowed to run your own country. Your leaders are locked up in jail for voicing.
You can't own land.
Yeah, you just can't have a life. You basically are a miserable wretch, and every time you look at yourself in the mirror,
in squalor while other people live where you work. You're allowed to go out during the day and work, living in absolute finery.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unthinkable. It's basically the last country in the world that had slavery was South Africa, and anytime you saw South Africa on TV, you had to be moved. I mean, you just had to say, oh, my God, this is horrible. This is a bunch of Nazis controlling these people to the point where they're no longer people. They're like slaves. They're thought of as animals. In fact, animals got better treatment. So, in 1980, this is what South Africa was like. And all performers had basically decided not to play Sun City.
Yeah, South Africa had pretty much been isolated from the world. The world pressure was bearing upon them to change this system. So they couldn't participate in the Olympics. People wouldn't perform there. People wouldn't do business with them.
Companies pulled their business out. The whole world had basically decided that they were going to punish South Africa for treating people badly, and it was the right thing to do. You couldn't disagree with it.
So they created this place called Sun City.
Yeah, the South African government created Sun City where black people could go to get entertainment also. It was kind of like, putting up a front. They'll have one place in the whole country where some black people can go and get some entertainment.
Yeah, but mind you, the black people can't afford it.
No, it was totally expensive. So all performers decided pretty much not to go there. There were a couple. There was only a handful that decided to go there, and they were put on a blacklist. One of those performers was Linda Ronstadt. It didn't bother her in the least that black people were enslaved in South Africa. Didn't faze her at all.
Not as a woman, not as a Mexican-American, not as anything.
Nothing upsets this woman, this filth, this garbage.
She wasn't offended by this entire government oppressing millions of people.
And rightly so, though, because, of course, Linda Ronstadt, needed a pastrami sandwich, so she needed the extra money. So, you can't fault her. She was so hungry that she had to just make sure that people who were being systematically ruined, she had to make money. She didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
So this fat load, she played Sun City. They even had songs. Don't play Sun City. Except if I'm Linda Ronstadt. Unless I'm Linda Ronstadt. Because I don't care about anybody except myself. You fat hypocrite bitch. You piece of garbage, lower than garbage. You fat, lower than garbage piece of crap. Linda Ronstadt. Fettuccine, meatloaf, chuckles, cream sauce. Can't even speak Spanish if she's Spanish. She's going around telling everyone now she's Spanish because her career is failing, so she can't sell any English-speaking records, so now she's going around telling everyone she's Spanish.
Yeah, suddenly.
Yeah, do me a favor, interview her in Spanish. See if she can speak one word. Como se what? Yo, fatso, ole. This fatso suddenly now is a brave woman is going to speak out for people's rights. Oh, you fat hypocrite bitch. You filth.
I have to take exception
I have to
one of your guests.
We take exception to your entire life. You filth. Come and debate me. I open my arms to you. Although I can't open them that wide. I open my arms to you because you are such a hypocrite. Unless I'm Linda Ronstadt and I need food money. Unless I'm Linda Ronstadt. Worst song in the world. Anyway,
but it made a point.
It made a point. It was in the right place. So now they say, look, let bygones be bygones. Any performer who apologizes.
Yeah, we recognize that some of you were stupid dupes and you didn't realize what this government was.
We realize that some of you were shills for the South African government. So if you just apologize now, we'll take you off the blacklist because we'll forget this ugly part of our history. She won't even apologize. No. She's worried about people's rights. Eat me. Uh-oh, she might. I take that back.
That's right. Don't give her that offer.
She looks at me like a piece of lamb stew. Give me that song, Desperado, that she sings. Because she doesn't sing her own songs. She has to sing Eagle songs, so she can't write a song. She's too busy eating. Play that for me, will you? Did they rack it up for you? Did they rack it up? No. Why would we do that? Rack it up for me. Well, don't rack anything up for me. What do I know? That piece of garbage. I mean you, Fred, not the...
I'll do my best.
I don't know. Something else. Can you imagine that?
Oh, she forgets what she's done in her life. She knows what she's the focus now on you and how bad you are.
And what you should be doing as a woman.
Absolutely. The nerve that she should tell a black person how to live their life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, she knows.
She does know about telling black people how to live their lives. She knew about a whole government who did it.
You should live in South Africa.
That's right.
So she can go perform to you if you ever get enough money together. Oh, filthy hypocrite. Filth. If I had that blemish on my record, I keep my mouth shut.
About everything.
Yeah, I would pretty much say that maybe I don't have the right. Does this start right up?
Maybe I'm a stupid shill. No, you get a little intro.
Oh, good. I'm not familiar with this particular arrangement. Might not even be in my key, Robin.
I'm sure.
Testing.
Here you go.
There's lyrics on there.
Are there?
Yeah. Good job. Thank you. This show is so tight.
I thought that was you singing.
How come like shows like the Rick D show, as bad as it is, at least like when he goes into a song, it's queued up properly. Who did that, Scott?
Probably.
Yeah,
and that's
good.
Try left, although I don't know if it's going to...
Fred, I don't know if I have time to experiment. Maybe you should have experimented. Just because I ran out of there, don't mean you guys have to run out of there. I run out, everybody runs out.
Is that it?
I don't know what's going on. And listen to that tape creaking. Here, do you hear? Listen to this.
Oh, that's funny.
Mashed potatoes. Wait, is this the beginning?
Yes.
Goobers and waffle. You know what? I don't want to sing. You ruin me. You ruin me every time.
What?
You ruin me with your preparation.
What happened?
What happened is I gave Fred and Jackie one job to do, and I'm sorry I gave it.
You forgot to sing.
No, I forgot to sing?
Yes, then you did.
Yeah, well.
We'll take the blame for something.
I forgot to sing. Would you be a little frazzled? You try and do a radio show when nobody's prepared.
Nobody said it was easy.
Yeah. Now listen to this tape. Listen to this. Here's that's some professional... 1995. Mashed potatoes, goobers, and waffle.
What happened?
Fred, can't you listen to it before we do it?
They double introed.
I'm in shock.
What?
I'm in shock.
Why is that?
Because Scott usually does a good job with this. Usually there's
everybody passes the buck around.
There's usually no reason to check it. I'll take responsibility for it, but it's like...
What do you mean double intro?
He obviously started it and stopped it and then started it again.
Why lead or something if
Scott?
You didn't edit it properly.
Scott, come in here. Does your work have to be checked every time? What happened?
I made a mistake. I didn't clean the intro.
Why? Come on.
You're a perfect person, right?
You know what, Scott? I am a perfect person.
Yeah, right.
I don't screw up.
Yeah, right.
You got one job to do. You do it right. Right.
So I screwed it up one
look
time.
at me. I look like a fool.
Well, I look like a bigger fool. Okay, so I screwed it up. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you, how many cigarettes have you smoked today? Seriously, look at your lips.
Know.
Your whole lip is all brown. All brown, all across the bottom. Here, I'm going to sing about you now. Forget about Linda Ronstadt. I got a song for you here. Here, listen to this. Here it is. Something wrong with you. Listen to this. This is some job.
What is this guy?
Set it up for me. Give me a break.
I was given. I mean,
everyone. Scott's an a-hole. He smokes and does nothing for me. I ask him to make a song, babe, and he leaves me hanging dry. He's so damn boring. He's fat and, let me correct that, he's obese. And he likes to smoke cigarettes. I hope he dies soon. I really do.
Very nice.
You love to screw me up every day. You like to mess me up. That's okay. My audience will sit through any garbage. My audience gets prepared for their job every day. But why can't I be prepared? That's because Scott makes mistakes for me. But he never will light the wrong end of a cigarette. Because his cigarette comes first. Not the show. And not Howard. Scott Salem. If he quit tomorrow, we wouldn't miss him. I've never seen anything like it in my entire broadcasting career. Thank you. Good night, everybody. I'm going home. Shine your head with some Johnson wax. Do whatever you have to do. But don't get the tape right. Why should we bother getting the tape right? I sit at home 24 hours a day and try to think up funny things to say, only to be thwarted by Scott the engineer. Next time, think before you work, old Scott Salem. You're bald and you're ignorant, and worse, you're dull. He smells like an ashtray. Robin could back me up. He smells like an ashtray. Am I right?
Yes, he's got brown fingers.
He has brown fingers. He'll get cancer. And then I'll sing this song at Scott's funeral someday. Thank you. He must work for another radio station. He was hired to sabotage my show.
He's working very well.
Nice. He got a check from PLJ, I think. Thank you. Here's my song. It was supposed to be about Linda Ronstadt, but suddenly it shifted. I got to take a break. Thank you.
You're a perfect person.
Did you hear that? I come in and do my job. All he's got to do is get that song on tape. Where is he? Get in here.
He's got a chance to check his work.
Yeah. Who told him? What? I just asked for one thing. How many times do I ask for something? Do I ask for a lot of stuff? Am I unreasonable?
Oh, goodness.
Where is he? I want to know how he liked my song. Let me ask the audience how they like that song. That guy drives me nuts. I'm going insane.
What else was he doing?
I got to find... Maybe, I was unfair. I take it all back.
Because there must have been something very
Scott, come here.
important.
Come here.
And he couldn't give this his full attention.
All right. You're right. I sometimes don't see
That's right,
that people
Howard,
have other duties.
You got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, something else was going on.
Well, obviously he was smoking. There's no question about that. Where is he? Bring him to me. Where is he?
Bring me the head of Scott Saylor.
Refuses to come in. No, you tell him to come in. I will. I want to straighten it out with him. I don't want any bad vibes. Refuses to come in here.
I don't have to take this crap.
That probably means he was doing nothing.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't have a defense. He needs a lawyer. Should have a trial.
Did you see him doing nothing? The Johnny Cochran defense. He's not coming in.
Oh, he's coming in. Where is he?
Baby.
What?
He's in the studio. Right, Gage's got the camera on him. He's got his arms folded, and he's got Linda Ronstadt music cranked as loud as it'll go.
No, you tell him to come in here.
He won't go in. I just heard John go, come on, come in and
come on, we want to, no, tell him we want to straighten this out.
I just had a big fight with him, so I can't even talk to him. He's mad at me.
Wow.
Well, because he was taking real long to get that Sun City thing in. Gave it to him 5:45. Said it'd be ready in 5 minutes. So now he's really mad at me. He goes, Gary, not today.
Scott, don't be a baby. Come in here and talk it out like a man. Not today.
Talk it out. How can you talk something out with you?
No, let me ask you something.
I admitted I was wrong. I made a mistake. I mean, what else can I say?
Maybe you were doing something else at the time. Was that what happened?
Yeah, I was smoking and drinking coffee and
all right, all right. Thank you for your help.
No, I just made a mistake. That's all.
All right.
That I didn't catch. I mean, I'm sorry, but
you check your work though, right?
Usually I do.
I mean, were you overwhelmed with different things?
No, I wasn't overwhelmed. I just made a stupid mistake.
Okay. All right.
Did they give this to you and say I need it right away?
Gave it to him yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Yeah, I just made I just told you, I made a stupid mistake. I had a double take at the beginning that I didn't edit out.
On top of that, they're still coming through on one channel. Usually you monoize it out, and you only give the one side.
Yeah, what happened?
That I didn't hear that.
I mean, it had lyrics. You're supposed to remove the lyrics.
It's like it's Desperado. If you kick it back in stereo, you'll
What did you do to this guy?
I played the version that
you want to know what it is? I'll tell you what it is, Scott. You know what it is, Scott?
No, it wasn't queued up.
You know what my problem is?
I said it was an instrumental.
Let me tell you what my problem is. It's not your fault. It's my fault. You want to know why it's my fault?
No, it's not your fault.
No, let me tell you why it was my fault.
Because nobody checked it.
No, it's my fault because most people would have fired you for that. You see what I'm saying? I let everything go. I'm easygoing. This is how I am with the whole staff. I'm a pushover. I'm a pushover. So it's not your fault. It's my management fault. The management. Here. I'm gonna sing about you again. Oh, no. It's not your fault. I'm gonna sing how it's not your fault. All right? Now here's the false start.
We gotta go through the whole thing.
So all you have to do is hit 0 with the real starters. And
I got a lot of time for that.
Excuse me for making you push a button.
Oh, excuse me, I'm on the air. Where am I going to zero something out? Here, wait. This is a false beginning.
This is not the beginning.
There
we go.
There you go. Good work. You know what it is? It's my fault. It really is. I'm much too lax. I'm going to sing an apology to you. All right? Because it's my fault, not yours, when something like this happens. I apologize to you, Scott the engineer. It's not your fault that your work is sloppy. It's mine for not chastising you. Bald and lazy. Chances are already your head is loaded with cancer, honestly. And I know at home things aren't easy. Your wife drives you crazy.
She's fine.
But you, I don't mind her. You screw up my show. Though you might be dying, you still have to do your duty. Your triple chin is hanging. Me, I should jump off a cliff. I don't know what to do with my attitude. Robin says, on the staff I am too easy. Who knows, maybe she's right. Maybe I should listen. Should I be tougher, Scott? Sure. I got to tell you, Scott, yes, you're great. You are a great smoker. You're very slow, though, on your work. But I understand when you go out and do your DJ business, you play a hell of a hokey pokey. You're so damn desperate. You know that razor blade you used to edit? Give that to me so I can slash my wrist. I should use it on my wrist and say, adios. You know, your hair said adios many years ago. And you eat like there's no tomorrow. You smell like 5 cigars. No wonder you hate your life. Look at your fingers. They're brown from the nicotine. And your lungs, they wheeze daily. But you know, smoking you're good at. But bulking a cart, I don't know what happens. Oh, just go home. Go to your computer with your wife sitting over your shoulder and work on Prodigy. And buy 6 cartons at the deli. Oh, I can't take it anymore. All right, thank you. Singing to you. You're welcome. Come on, singing to you. I'm serenading you.
I don't know.
All right, you know what? I'm going to kill myself tonight. I'll make you happy, finally. If that's what you're trying to get me to do, I'm going to do. All right, it was my mistake. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No.
All right, let's put it behind us.
I made a mistake.
All right,
you
very
know.
good. All right, I got to take a break from Scott. Right after these words, I'll be back.